BBC Radio Leicester. Speaking of music, there was a big win on the telly for Leicester yesterday with the EAGA Gospel Choir, who are fantastic, and they won the BBC's Songs of Praise Gospel Choir of the Year. Earlier on, director Jordan Anderson joined us on the show. Jordan.
A little bit tired.
So Jordan walked into the radio studio. It looked like you were dragging yourself in today, Jordan.
My gosh. It was too much, but you know what? I made it here, so that's the most important thing. Last night was a great night. We all just got together and had a good time. Yeah.
So what did you do?
What we did, we decided to watch it together at the Guild Hall in town.
This was you and the choir and friends and family?
Yes, exactly. We all watched it together. And the celebration started there from the moment we won. It was a very emotional time because some people were crying and some were smiling, but it was really nice. And then after that, we had some food, like sandwiches and soup and stuff like that. And then we had the big cook-up back at the church, which was great as well.
How is the choir feeling today?
Excited, they're happy. Obviously, we knew about it from a while ago.
Exactly, that's why I'm asking, because the rest of the world sort of knows who the winners of the competition are now because we've seen it on the telly, but this is something that you would have found out. When would you have found out?
We found out back in November because that's when we actually...
This is a long-awaited celebration. Okay.
But the thing is, the most important thing was that it was still special to us when it came out on telly, and especially around friends and family as well. I felt like I relived the moment again. And I had to say speeches as well, which I absolutely fumbled the ball on. But you know what? It was great. It was amazing. So we're all ecstatic right now.
So for anybody who hasn't watched the journey or even heard about the journey, perhaps you're listening to this for the first time, just tell us a little bit about how it all started. How did you get on BBC One? How did you even sort of become a part of the Songs of Praise, this competition?
We had to obviously fill in an application form for the choir. To ask to be a part of the competition, so to be selected. And then after that, we had to send them a song that they would like to get us through to the rounds and the semi-finals and the finals. And from there, we obviously got through. And then we had to do 2 more songs, one for the semi-finals, one for the finals, and they will have to listen to it and decide which songs we should do and if it's good enough and stuff like that. And then from there, we just arrived in Manchester and we recorded both sets and we won in simplest form. Yeah,
that's a very simple way of putting it. Yeah. But I guess the other bits that you don't perhaps see on the telly is you guys meeting the other choirs as well. Talk to me about the sense of community that was formed when you were there competing.
Yeah, because I think it's obviously a gospel competition, and so it's Christian based. So it's all about, loving one another as we love ourselves, and it's all about, enjoying the moment, and we're celebrating but also worshipping God. And I feel like it was a great moment for us when we all met together, all the choirs together, because we just randomly sang different songs. Even when we're having dinner, even when we're just outside taking pictures, another choir would start a song and then another choir would join and then another choir would join. So it was amazing, and we get to communicate with each other and have network with each other as well. So it was really good. It was good. Yeah.
But at the same time, you're competing against them.
Yeah, of course, and that was my cocky side that came out a little bit. I had to let them know who's the best choir, do you know what I mean?
But then you actually won it, so then did you feel bad?
Of course not. Why would I? We're all there for the same reason, do you know what I mean?
And are you still in touch with any of the other choirs?
Yeah, with a few choirs. We're still in touch with a few from the Birmingham choir and the student choir, BIM student choir as well. So it's great. We did keep connections with them and hopefully friends one day.
But this isn't the only time you've been on telly, Jordan. How does this compare to the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent in 2018?
Oh, now you're asking for a big ask right now. I mean, Britain's Got Talent was an energy in itself. I feel like it was great because we made it to the semi-finals and we was on the live TV and there was so many people watching and we got so many compliments and people were so happy for us and stuff like that. So it was a great moment.
And what did it do for the profile of the choir?
It definitely, helped us out quite a lot, to be honest with you. We got a ton load more gigs and we got more networking, more connections through that way as well. And people like, up until the other day, I was just shopping in Tesco's and I was talking to one of my friends on the phone about the choir, and someone just randomly came up to me. He's like, I think we remember you. And I goes, from where? And I was like, Britain's Got Talent. And I was like, how many years ago was that?
5 years ago.
Can you imagine? So it's crazy to think that people still remember us like that. But comparing to this Songs of Praise, I think it's different because we won.
Okay. And it's different, I suppose, also because I'm just thinking about judges' feedback.
Yeah.
They're quite, when I was watching the judges, there was a lot of focus on the music from a technical sense. Like,
That's correct.
I would have held back a little bit there, so you've got somewhere to go with with the song a little bit later on, or the composition and stuff like. It's a completely different judging criteria as well.
And also because it's a more of a Christian show, so it's more based on not just how good you are, but your passion behind the song. What's the meaning and what are you trying to express to people that are going to be watching? So I feel like it's a bit different to Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent it's more vast, isn't it? You got different talents that you're going up against. So that's the contrast, I think, as well, to be honest.
And do you think you adapted your performances to that as well? If you think about your Britain's Got Talent performance compared to the performance that you did for the Songs of Praise, because the requirements, if you like, and what they're looking for is different. Did you do that in your performances?
1000%, because if you look back at our Britain's Got Talent performance, we chose songs that we think everyone would know as well. So because we know that we're dealing with the whole public, and not everyone are actually Christians, but I feel like everyone must know Sister Act in some way or some form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why we went with Joyful and Amazing Grace, because everyone knows Amazing Grace as well. It's the typical traditional Christian song around here. But then with Songs of Praise, we know it's a Christian show, so we was kind of freelancing more in the gospel side, what we like to sing on a Sunday maybe. People might not know it, but people might like it once they hear it. So that was the contrast, really, and that's what it was dealing with.
So what are you going to do now? You've done Britain's Got Talent, you've done the BBC Songs. Is there another show out there for you? I mean,
we're ready to attack all competitions now at this point.
Have you got one in mind?
Not quite. I know we've got a competition in the Isle of Man, which we're going back to do, so we're going to try and win that one. But in the meantime, we're going to be throwing a lot of concerts and stuff, celebrating our 20 years as well, because it's been 20 years since the choir's been formed. So we're going to be throwing concerts every last Friday of the month. So just keep listening and keep tuned.
Where are those concerts? When's the next one? Give us all the details.
It's all going to be based in Leicester. So it's going to be based in a few different Leicester churches. So our first one is on the last Friday of March. Most of our details are on our website. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And I hope everyone enjoys it.